Brielle, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm from our community social agency. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. How are you doing?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you so much for having me in your home.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So I'm sure you know that I'm here to talk to you a little bit about what's been going on with your son, Trevor.
Yeah, yeah. All I know is that the school is making me talk to a few people about TJ. I know that he's been getting into some trouble.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me a little bit more about what type of trouble has been going on.
Well, I know that he's been fighting a little bit. He got into a few altercations at school. He swung and some teachers actually got involved. So honestly, your guess is as good as mine. I'm not really sure what's going on. It's kind of why we're here, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, how has your relationship with Trevor been in the past?
Um, it's it's not bad. I feel like it could get better now, but I think the only reason I feel that way is because in the past it's been a lot more communication. I feel like I actually have known what's going on with him, so maybe that's why it just feels like such a stark difference now. We used to spend plenty of time together just doing normal stuff, even just being outside and just kind of me recapping with him. I tell him about my work week, he tells me about a school week, so not really knowing what's going on now is kind of throwing me.
Yeah, so this situation seems out of the ordinary.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's new and not comfortable. But yeah.
Absolutely. So what would you like for your relationship to with Trevor to look like?
Um, I just want him to feel open to talk to me, feel comfortable. I feel like I can tell him what's going on in my head. I just want him to feel like he can do that with me. You know how sometimes there's a little bit of a disconnect between parents, like kids. I mean, you've been a kid, so
Yeah.
like, they don't always
Yeah.
feel like they can be honest with people because they feel either they're going to be judged or punished, and I know there has to be consequences, but I just want him to feel like he can speak to me honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I want to feel connected on that front, more communication mostly.
So what types of skills are you hoping to gain from the parenting class to help open those lines of communication?
Um, I want to be a better listener. I want to show that I am listening to him. I think a lot of times kids don't feel they can speak and like share to their parents because they don't think that they're actually hearing them. They think it's going through one ear out the other. They make a quick judgment and then move on. So I just kind of want to be a more receptive person to him, and I just want maybe body language that shows that I want to feel connected and close to him. I don't know. I don't know. As men, sometimes it gets kind of hard to show those kinds of emotions or like ways of communicating it without it seeming forced or not real. So I want a way for him to know that I'm trying to be vulnerable with him.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Maybe being a little bit more affectionate is what you're
Yeah.
hoping to get.
Yeah, exactly.
What does affection look like right now between you and Trevor?
Um, it's a lot more just kind of spending time together. Less, it's more in silence now, which is kind of why it's frustrating. Usually we would talk and make plans to do something together. Now it's just if he sees me watching TV or if I see him watching TV, I'll come and sit next to him and we'll maybe talk for a few minutes or just comment on the show. But it's not as much as it used to be. But that's probably the only way we communicate it now.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So, can you think of anything that may have sparked this kind of withdrawal on Trevor's side?
It might be the fact that I travel a little bit more than I used to. Yeah, work has been a little bit more hectic recently, and since it's just the two of us, I'm afraid that he feels like maybe I'm just not physically there enough. So then he feels like I'm not emotionally there enough. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm kind of in the dark on it, honestly.
So I heard you say that you travel for work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what does a typical week look like for you in terms of your travel and the amount of time that you're able to spend with Trevor?
So, I work until about 6, 7 on the weekdays when I am in town, and I travel maybe once every 2, 3 weeks.
Okay.
But I'm gone for about a week and some change, so
Gotcha.
so it's kind of frequent, but it's in a decent enough span of time where he has to rely on other people. So
Yeah.
yeah.
When you are traveling away, do you feel like you're able to check in on TJ?
Yeah, I do. I feel like he is at least receptive to hear from me. So I think he wants to know I'm doing okay as much as I want to know he's doing okay. So I feel like I can check in on him. I don't always know how much he's telling me though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. So it sounded like the desire is there on Trevor's end too to open up that communication. We're just needing to build up some of those skills.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, we can definitely move forward to signing you up for some of our classes and looking at some of the goals that we can set as far as you and Trevor's communication and how we can see that opening up. It sounds like the first thing that you're wanting is just to feel more in the loop with what's going on with Trevor more socially, so we can definitely start thinking of some ways to do that. Is there any other skills in particular that you're wanting to focus on?
Not that I can think of. This was big. This is pretty helpful in general for me. I wasn't anticipating all of this, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you again for having me in your home. I appreciate it.
Thank you.